여보세요. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Newjeans, they went and dropped 2 songs and videos, like in the past couple days. It's like almost at the same time, really. And Super Shy has emerged as a very popular song and video. So I'm looking forward to this because I really enjoy Newjeans and you know, the songs that they put out, the videos. They're all very good. It's so much fun and really interesting. And I see like some of the other 4th gen groups trying to do something similar, like of course not directly you know, copying or whatever, but sort of picking up on some of the flavors, some of the aspects that give it Newjeans songs like their quality, you know, and they're starting to adapt some of the sort of vibey, atmospheric, almost at times nostalgic type of qualities of Newjeans songs. So let's see what they came up with now. Super Shy, it seems very colorful, like this shot, but I've also seen like a couple of other you know, little shots, images, clips or whatever, and it seems very colorful. So maybe a bit of a tonal shift. I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, that's a Newjeans feel.
I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind. All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind. All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. And I wanna go out with you. Where you wanna go? Find a spot. Just sit on top, looking pretty. Follow me. 우리 둘이 나란히 보이지? 내 눈이 갑자기 빛나지? When you say I'm a dream. You don't even know my name yet. You don't even know my name yet. 누구보다도 I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind. All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind. All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. 나 원래 말도 잘하고 그런데 왜 이런지 I don't like that. Something out about you, yeah, especially when you know it, you're the topic. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind. All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind. All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. You don't even know my name, do ya? You don't even know my name, do ya?
heck? They did it again, man. They did it again. Oh, it's very cool. It's very cool, man. There's just something about, like the very specific drum and bass influence over that, the percussion and bass parts of the mix. Um, it's so interesting, man, because this is fairly minimalist, right? But it's so much fun. Like, I think it's a tempo difference between like what the percussion is doing, and then you're sort of like what the vocal part is doing for sure. There's always some nostalgic kind of psychedelic quality to it, and oftentimes it's almost always present in the vocal. But like, for example, in this song, there's a motive that's going on in that synth keyboard sound that you hear, that da 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 da. The they had the guy with the accordion, do I don't know if he was playing the exact same notes, but at least the motion, right, as he was hitting the piano keys was synced up with what that little motive is. And of course, it's when it comes around, it's these verse sections and everything, and it's a bit of a callback, and it's really clever. It's so smart to be able to write these little motives, because you're accomplishing a lot with very little. The opposite approach, you hear it a lot, is very super saturated, and it's like, there's a lot there, but man, just to, like it doesn't, it's not necessarily as effective as far as just having like the sheer volume of substances, going. It's very cool to have something be that effective, but so economical, it's an interesting thing, and the reason that I call it or refer to it or sort of classify it as something a little bit psychedelic is because it reminds me a lot of like blues music, especially like the farther back you go. In other words, good blues music is all about being economic with your notation. It's not about Stevie Ray Vaughan is fun, Led Zeppelin is fun, I love all that stuff too, but the basis of it, the foundation of it, the root of it is much simpler, and without that, none of the other stuff, you can't build up to any of those other things. And there's just some aspect of it that it always has that nostalgic sort of trippy quality to it, and it's a genius part of Newjeans' songs, compositionally, in the mix, the way it's handled and everything. It makes them very, very enjoyable, and I just, at this point, the way that it's so like they have it, like this is something they can do, and they can do it over and over and over again, it without any question, right? And it is not just the group, it's also the production crew that's behind it as well. The vocals too, man, the vocals, it's like they have a similar quality in that they're so kind of laid back. Like they don't necessarily need to do big dynamic things with the vocals. They almost have a very subdued, breathy, airy type of like it's almost sotto voce, right? Like it's almost singing under your breath, kind of. But it's such a soft sound. It's the texture. It's the texture of that breathy type of delivery, right? And then of course in this type of song mix, and it's just super interesting, man. There was some really really nice descending lines. I think it's the second verse. Oh man, it's so good. It makes you feel good. Like everything about the sound that Newjeans makes, it just makes you feel good. It really does. There, da 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 da. That's a recurring motive that is present throughout the song, and you see the difference, like the way that the percussion part, its rhythm is so busy, right? Like it's constant. It's just sort of relentless, right? Because of the style that it's based off of, and then that much more sparse, type of motive in that synth keyboard part that's going on over it. It's just it's such a genius type of composition, and it works so well, dude. It works so well. Like it really gets its mileage, you know what I mean? Like it really does.
I'm super shy, super shy.
Rhythmic editing.
Wanna make you mad, make you mad. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, super shy. But wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy.
See, it's a very simple arpeggiation in the vocal part. It's not even it isn't like jumping up to the seventh, maybe like barely even the fifth. I mean, it's so simple, man, and the delivery is just it's perfect, right? Like it really is. It's perfect. There's just something about it. Like when Newjeans does their thing, like it's perfect within the confines of what they try to accomplish with a song. Let's say they're like never off by beats or by a half step. They're never off, man, like ever. And it's just crazy because like everything is so tight. Not they don't, without having to do some dramatic shift in pitch, or how, like, it's very simple phrasings. It's like, of course they're gonna work because it's just in the simplicity. It's just in how clean everything is when you keep it like that simple. And it's a wonderful pattern. It's a wonderful arpeggio pattern that's going on. It's just incredible.
Wanna go out with you? Where you wanna go? Find a spot, just sit on top, looking pretty. Follow me. 우리 둘이 나란히 보이지? 내 눈이 갑자기 빛나지? When you say I'm a dream.
So technically, if you're counting in four, lots of 16th note subdivision when the rap part comes around, but these very, very tight beat groupings, right? And like the way they're done is almost like feels like three, but it's more so just syncopated rhythms, right? It's not necessarily triplet groups, but those are. It's so fast. The tempo is so fast, and those the groupings there, the beats, they're like super tight. but but they make it sound like easy, like they're barely even trying or whatever, you know, and that's probably true. I mean, they're really good, dude. I don't like Newjeans is just how everything they do is just like, man, they're for fourth gen. I think that they're like really sort of the leaders of the pack as far as they're the whole package, everything, like the vocals, the aesthetics, the mix, like everything is. It's very much pocketed in what their style is. So in other words, a different approach or trying to move outside of that, it can be, I'm sure they can do it, but it's just like when, how, because you don't want to take the risk of like departing from something that works so well. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be done for the right reason and definitely at the right time.
I don't even know my name yet. You don't even know my name yet. 누구보다도 I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make your mind. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy.
Da 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 da. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It really is. Like everything about it is just. It's so clever, man. It's so clever. The vocals are so sweet, right? They're every sound is just incredibly pleasant to listen to. Oh man, dude. I don't know. They're too damn good, man. They're too damn good. And they make it seem so effortless. Ah man, I don't know.
Super shy. I'm super shy.
You definitely got to be able to count, like for what they do. There it is. That descending line, the da 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 da. 2 octaves, maybe. Or I mean, it's a very smooth run. It's oh man, like how it's incredibly satisfying. I think it's basically, if you were counted in 4, that's like 8 notes: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, right? The range is perfect. The delivery is perfect. The dynamic level is perfect. It's incredibly satisfying. And it's a contrasting rhythmic type of pattern from what has already been established in the first verse and in the chorus, and this is what I mean, like the economy of it, like getting the most out of the least. Like I don't want to say, like, I'm not trying to diminish it or anything, but it's just the idea of being like super economical with what you're doing. And that's why I say you really got to be able to count, right? Like the production behind this, and even the girls, when they go to perform this and to record this, they the rhythms of their parts are so, it's such an important aspect of it. It's not just about the pitch. It's almost less about the pitch, really. It's almost less about pitch or dynamics. The rhythm is like, at least 50% of the value, of the importance, the significance of it. It's like is being on the count for all of their parts. And so you see this simple shift to having this. It's more of a longer in duration, when all it is a descending line, but the contrast, it makes it super satisfying. Just to get something that has this continuity to it over a little bit, a farther duration and time. It's super satisfying. I don't know but it's perfect.
Something out about you, yeah, you're special and you know it, you're the top, babe. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine.
Beat drops completely.
All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, make you mine. 떨리는 지금도 you're on my mind. All the time I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. You don't even know my name, do ya? You don't even know my name, do ya?
Straight quarter notes.
You don't even know my name, do ya? You don't even know my name, do ya?
It's perfect. Oh man. Oh my goodness, dude. I don't Newjeans, they don't miss, man. They're so good. They're so economy of sound. The spot on rhythms, the emphasis on rhythm, the texture of the vocals within the larger context of the mix. These, along with very clever composition to create nostalgic sort of motifs and themes that become through lines for the different songs. There is a way of being like the catchiness of it, the hookiness of it, is possible because of how accessible all of it is, how comfortable it is, how satisfying all of these elements are. But there's a sophistication to it as well that is very much in across the entire production, the entire thing, that makes it very unique. And this song is another example of that, coming after say like Ditto and OMG. The choreography too, right? It's so super fun. Their choreographies are fantastic. And oh man, it's almost the same, type of idea. Like it's fairly economical with its motion, but the count, the rhythm is I think min-maxing, right? Like, what are you gonna stack strength or agility or intelligence? It's a balance between how these different sort of elements, aspects, or qualities, right? The way they approach it, and having a little bit more emphasis on the rhythm, and so that way, in contrast, the dynamic levels of delivery, the texture of the vocals it's also comfortable. It's also satisfying. Just man, this is gonna be another one, dude. Like, this song is gonna shoot to the top of a lot of the different charts and all of that, and it's going to sit there for a while, like OMG. Like, look, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for sure. Oh, dude, they're a really incredible and unique group. That's so far, like, everything is so perfect. It's so like wonderful just to hear anything that they put out. I you know what I mean? It like, there's just, you just know if Newjeans is coming out with something, like, it's gonna be good. And it's gonna be like, it's gonna go big, right? Like, it's gonna get really big. So hey, they did it again, man. Like they've done it again. Gotta check out the Newjeans one, like the song Newjeans. You know what I mean? They dropped another track, and that's the title of that one. So, oh man, it's all just so good, man. Everything about it is very original, right? Like the thing that they have really sort of dialed into here with everything they put out. And it's but it just works, man. It just works. It works so well. It works so well. Yeah. I just look forward to to the next one. That's all. But it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like this is another perfect Newjeans song. The video is fun. It has all of that nostalgic, slightly trippy qualities to it. It's super catchy. It's just a brilliant composition. It's brilliant production, and really just such competent, brilliant execution by the girls. Their performance and vocals and in choreography. That this stuff is just spot on, man. It's just spot on, and there's not much else to say about it. Super Shy. Another Newjeans hit.